Chuck Carlton, Dallas Morning News. Question for Seth. Take us through, having to go into the game when Briles took the hit, and then that final drive where you needed points with Tech having the momentum, and what was going through your mind on that?
Whenever Briles got hit, it was kind of one of those deals where you just want to rush to your helmet just in case, and of course had to go in. But the mindset. We prepared during practice, just for those opportunities, and I feel like this week we had an awesome week of practice, and then that last drive, it's do or die. We put it on and we balled out and we got the W.
Question on the front left.
Jerry Hill, Baylor Bear Insider. Seth, I think Corey said something like that they kind of calmed you down or told you to calm down. How much did it help having teammates around you to kind of get you settled down?
It definitely helped a lot. Guys that up there and that support you. When you come in and they have your back, and that's when you go into a fight. You want to have somebody there behind you, and they did a great job. Inspiring me and keeping me calm, and we pulled it out.
We'll take one more question for that, and then we'll go back and let the coach make some opening comments. Okay, that's fine. Wait, guys. Take the question.
This is for all three guys. It's Tim Griffin from the San Antonio Press News. Do you feel like you did something tonight with the effort that Tech did coming out with the win?
I think we knew that they were going to give us everything they got, knowing it's the last game of their season, and we were ready for anything that they were going to throw at us. But I think we really stuck together and really started to fight as a whole team and not just really, just falling apart. We really stuck through till the end.
Shock, before you answer that was Bo. We're doing remote technology to type the quote. So, Bo, thank you for your comments. Shock, you want to answer that?
Well, at the end, it did get close, but we just had to come together as a team and finish the game. So, whenever we got the ball, we knew we had to cut some time down, so we had to run the ball a lot. So, offensive line came in at the end for hard for us.
We knew it was going to be a fight to the end, and they showed it, they proved it, and we came out fighting. That's what we got to do. We had our backs up against the wall, pushing there towards the end, but and then we had the final punch, and it definitely we pulled it out.
Again, that was Seth, so that we can get to folks. Other questions for our student athletes? Got a question on the front, and then we'll go back over to the front.
David, I'm at Fox Sports. Seth, how involved was Briles in the deal on the sidelines once he came back?
He was greatly involved. He was talking me through everything. Calming me down. He was one of the other key factors, especially one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. On the sideline, telling you what you should and shouldn't do. It definitely helps you out. Have another pair of eyes out there. But he was essential to the win, definitely.
Question on their left.
Jerry Hill, Baylor Bear Insider. Bo, how frustrating was the day defensively, and then kind of the emotion of that 2-point conversion, being able to stop that?
It was real rough just coming into it, and like I said, we knew we were going to get everything they got, and I felt like, we just went just stepped down a little bit today, and we don't want to go back to where we used to be as a defense, and I definitely think it's going to be a big-time motivator for us to step it up for Kansas State. And that last 2-point conversion, I got in there, I just told everyone, if they don't score here, they don't win the game. We can do this. Just give everything you got this last play. And then we stuck it out and made the play.
Question on the front right.
Bryce, Cherry Waco Trib. Shock, you went over 1,000 yards on the season today, 10th Baylor player ever to do that. What does that mean to you? And just the running game in general today, you guys ran it 54 times. Just how big was that?
It's a lot. For me to have my second season going over 1,000 yards, it's pretty good. I would like to just thank my offensive line. They're a big part of it, so it was good.
We had a question on the aisle about halfway back on the left.
Now, Seth, how much easier was it for you to come into the game, considering the circumstances, knowing that you can depend on someone like Shock to kind of carry the load as far as the running game?
It's definitely big. Whenever you have running backs back there, you have receivers out there to go catch anything. It definitely makes my job easier. And it showed tonight. I ran a little bit, and Shock ran a little bit, everybody ran a little bit, and we kept pounding on the ground, and we knew that we were going to be able to do that, and we just stuck to it.
Got a question on the aisle?
David Smoke, ESPN Central Texas. Seth, Coach Briles talks about you can't buy experience. How much earlier this year the experience you had helped tonight when all of a sudden it's right there in front of you?
It's huge. I mean, you never want your top quarterback to go down. And sometimes it happens, and you have to be prepared for it. The coaches, they definitely talk to me all the time. Just to prepare and be ready for that moment. And we definitely prepared this week. We had a great week of practice, and it was big.
Do we still have a question on the left side, or did we stop? You want to ask a question? Okay. One time, we got one further question on the front row, and then this is going to let our student athletes go back right here on the front row.
Seth, on that drive that you came in on, you had the pass to Levi. Talk about that, and was that just him finding an opening? Was that called play? Was he open, I guess?
He was open. I just tried to throw it up, let him make a play. All I can do is put the ball in the air, and they adjust to it. Levi's an awesome player, as you already know, and I just let him have a chance for it. He went and made the catch.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much. Congratulations on the win. We're going to let you go back to the locker room. Coach, your thoughts about this evening's game? Congratulations.
Well, I'm not sure if it's a game or war, quite honestly. It was, filled with a lot of emotions. I'm just really proud of our players. It's extremely difficult to repeat as champions. And, we've known everybody's going to give us their best shot all year. We knew today would be no exception. A desperate man's a dangerous man. And, we were dealing with a desperate man tonight. And we knew that, but just, reality's reality. We're sitting where we're sitting, they were sitting where they're sitting, and, so they did a great job. I commend them, but I also commend our players for fighting and hanging on, quite honestly, because it was a tough game. It was a tough win. It's hard to win. We got a big win on a big stage, and we set ourselves up to have a chance next weekend to do something pretty special.
Got a question on the front right here?
John Warner, Waco Trip. Art, how's Briles doing, and would you expect that he'd have a chance to play next week?
I don't have any clue about next week. Anytime you get a concussion, it's a 3 or 4 day period before, either cleared or not cleared. So we'll just go through the process, see what happens. Seth came in and did a good job tonight. The experience showed up on a couple of situations, but I thought overall, I thought he came in some pretty pressure situations and controlled the football and did a really good job for us.
Another question on the front, and we'll go over to the left.
Bryce Cherry, Waco Trip. Art, you mentioned Tech being desperate and dangerous. At the very start of the game, they come out with a trick play. They had a fake punt, onside kick. At that point, are you telling your guys, hey, we got to be ready for anything?
Well, we were telling them before the game because, that didn't surprise us. We knew that those situations could occur. And, like I said, if you're, like I said, I'll fight a man with 3 children in a nice house any day over somebody that's living out of the car.
Got a question on the front.
Art, Tim Griffith with San Antonio Express News. I wonder if you can talk about Mahomes' performance tonight for Tech.
I thought he was really good. He really had a good game. He's continually gotten better, over the last 2 or 3 weeks. And, tonight certainly was no exception. He played extremely well.
We got a question on the aisle. Chuck, while you're walking over there, we'll take one on the front. Hold on, Chuck. Go ahead.
Coach, Michael on Wide Sports Radio. How much does losing a guy like Briles change your strategy and your play calling?
It changes a little bit. We had to dial back a few things. Seth is extremely talented, but do we want to set him back there and let him go through some progressions, that he does in practice in a game of this magnitude where we need to make first downs? So it's a fine line to walk to how aggressive that we felt like we could be with him, and still have the ability to stay in makeable down and distance situations. So Changed a little bit. I thought Briles was playing really well when he took the shot, and I don't know. We had a little momentum then, and then they seemed to gather some from then on. I think that was pretty evident.
Question on the aisle, and then we'll go across the aisle.
Chuck Carlton, Dallas Morning News, Art. Just curious how you talked about this being almost like a war out there. I was wondering how you saw the hit on Briles, because clearly it was flagged on that situation.
Yeah, honestly, Chuck, I didn't see it, and I didn't look up and see it. I don't know if they played it on the replay, but when the ball's out, I'm looking down the field to see what the coverage is and where the ball's going. So I was unaware that he'd gotten hit until I flashed back and saw him on the ground.
Question on the left.
Larry Little, Baylor Insider. Coach, we're talking a lot about Brice's injury, but how much did not having Chafin in there, especially in the second half, hurt you?
Chafin and Trayvon Armstead. I mean, Trayvon's a critical part of our run game, and he went down early, and then of course Devin went down. I don't know what was the first quarter. It was early. He's kind of been a workhorse, the last few weeks for us. So, I don't know what his prognosis is. He's just okay to elbow, I would think. 3 weeks or so on that deal. But we'll see. But it definitely affects us in the run game a little bit.
Got a question on the left, and then we'll come back across the aisle.
Quinne, Lowe, Sports Q&A. On the defensive side of the ball, you gave up some chunk plays. What are some things that you have to change before you get to Kansas State and even before the bowl game?
We just got to be better. A lot of those plays were plays in the open field where it's a one-on-one matchup. They made the play and we didn't. Pressure on the QB comes to mind. I thought he did a good job of evading pressure and then throwing the ball up and letting his guys make plays. So that's it's really pretty simple. You got to make plays in space.
Question on the aisle, Chuck.
Art, I know you can only control what you can control, and you're probably already thinking of Kansas State right now. At the same time, you were up 25 points when Brice went out. It wound up being a 2-point game. How do you think people on the outside should look at this, and people on the selection committee?
I can't control that, Chuck, and you know that. I think how I would look at it is, we hadn't done it yet. But to repeat as champions, it's happened one time in the Big 12's existence. I'm not sure Seattle is in the front runner seat to repeat as Super Bowl champions. I don't think Auburn won the SEC this year. Not sure Stanford won the Pac-12, and not sure Michigan State's in the Big Ten title game. I know Florida State and Baylor still have an opportunity to win their conference.
Question on the left, about halfway back.
Coach Charles Boyd on Levita News. Just want to know, with the adversity in tonight's game, what do you take from tonight to prepare you for next week?
I just learned, we got to regroup. It's late in the year. We've been going since August 4th. Everybody's mentally and physically, worn a little bit as Kansas State is. But the good thing for us is that we're going to be in McLean Stadium, and we're going to have a very active crowd as we did today. I thought our crowd was tremendous, and that's going to give us energy. That's going to give us momentum, and that's going to allow us an opportunity to win the football game against a really good Kansas State football team.
This could be the final question, then we're going to bring in some more student athletes and we're going to break out one-on-ones.
Jake Trotter, ESPN.com. Art, with Mississippi State losing today, the 4th spot in the playoff is up for grabs. If you guys beat Kansas State next weekend, should you guys be in the playoff?
We got to beat Kansas State, Jake, and you're a blog guy, and I don't know what your opinions have been throughout the year, but we certainly know, like I mentioned earlier, it's hard to repeat as champions. Did everybody want to beat Muhammad Ali or Leon Spinks? Who were they after more? I'm thinking Ali. So that's the deal. And when you can do it, and we haven't done it, but if you do it, that hat you're wearing needs to have a feather in it, because it's hard to do. It's extremely hard to do. Bob, I appreciate you being here tonight.
Congratulations.
As always. Thank you so much.
Okay, guys, we're going to bring our